We're out here having a look at my Issai kiwi berry vine. It's right next to a bunch of raspberry canes too, as you can see. And it's sort of starting to turn a really beautiful autumn yellow. It's deciduous, so it'll get completely bare of all these leaves. They'll all fall off soon in the next weeks or months maybe. We're in the end of September now, so autumn is here. And the berries are just starting to ripen. They don't all ripen uniformly, so we can sort of pick them gradually, which is really nice. Show you how big they are as well. They're like grapes. And all you have to do to check if they're ripe is, you can't really see it on the outside because they just stay green, but you just sort of give them a little squeeze, and I'll find some that are ripe because there are definitely some. And the ripe ones are just a little bit soft, have a little bit of give to them. The ones that aren't ripe are hard as little pebbles. But when they are ripe, they have a little give. I'll pick some and we'll have a look at them. They're really wonderful berries. And it's so nice to have some at this time of year when everything else is just finishing up. Just have a feel around and find some ripe ones. It's funny because it's such a great cropper, this little Issai one, and it's completely self-fertile, but it's not as a fast a grower as lots of the other hardy kiwi vines and kiwi berries. So it really is a great one for a small garden. Got lots of space, doesn't so spread all over the trellis at all. But if I did want to have more berries, which would be a bonus, there is another cultivar. It's called a jumbo pink kiwi berry, I believe, that is very compatible with this one. And if I got a male of them, then I could get even more berries on this vine here. This one is self-fertile, so it doesn't need anyone else, but you could get even more if you had one of those ones, one of the vines it's compatible with, and a male one of them. So it's worth thinking about. And if I do get more space, and don't know how I'd get more space, but if I was able to find space for one, I would love to have one of them. There aren't many more that are ripe right now. Just, if you get them before they're, oh, there's one. That's a big one. If you get them before they're ripe, they're quite like pasty almost. But the ripe ones are worth their weight. They are super good. And they don't seem to need much sunshine to ripen because we have not had a very hot summer. But we have many berries, which is delightful. They're all hidden everywhere, so it's worth checking out where they could be hiding. See, here's two, and one of these ones is ripe. And the other one isn't. So we brought them inside, and I want to have a quick taste, just so you can see exactly how they look on the inside as well. So let me just get a little knife and chop one in half. They are the cutest little things. Look how squishy they are. I better be more careful. Let's see if this one can open a bit better. They are very, very soft, some of them. Look at that. They look just like real kiwis, as you can see, the regular ones that we know as kiwis, the furry ones from supermarkets. But they are just so miniature, so tiny. Really, really sweet. Smaller than raspberries. Very translucent raspberry, that one. Here's a red raspberry. for comparison. So yes, and the flavor is amazing. It is, you know how the ones you get in supermarkets are quite sour? These ones haven't got any of that sourness if you get them at the right time. Of course, I mean, if you get them before they're ripe, then they can be a bit more sour. I think that's why the ones in the supermarket are a bit sour, probably because they're not left to ripen enough. Look how mushy that one was. Let me just try that one. Yes, there's no acidity in that one at all. That one was probably overripe even. It's quite a fine balance with catching them at the right time, and also finding them, because as you can see, they're so green and all the leaves are really green, although they're now starting to turn a bit yellow. But yeah, because of that, they're quite well camouflaged out there in the foliage. And you can't, as I said, you can't tell if they're ripe by looking at them. Although I would say that they get a bit more, they look a bit darker, don't they, as they ripen, and then they start getting a bit almost brown and very soft. But they are really, really sweet, delicious. They taste like regular kiwis, but just a sweeter flavor, a more condensed flavor. A bit like when you get big strawberries in the field, sometimes they haven't got as much flavor as smaller strawberries, as little wild strawberries. Wild strawberries I find have a really condensed flavor as well, and the same is true for these ones. They're really good. They're definitely worth growing, and they grow really well here. The thing that can be a problem that I've experienced before is if they flower too early, because we have like maybe a mild March, and that might get them to think that spring is here, and then if we get a cold snap after that, that can kill off the fruit buds, or the flower buds I should say, and that's what happened last year. So I didn't get any fruit last year, but this year I did. And if next year we have that problem again, I will be covering the vine and all the flower buds just to keep them, because I think it's worth it. If it's just a few days of really cold snaps and extra frost and things, then it's probably worth it, because it means we get these wonderful berries at the tail end of the season. So right when everything else is starting to finish harvesting, you're not going to get many more berries after this, then these ones start ripening, which is so wonderful. And we really like to add them to salads. That's my main thing for berries. I love adding them to salads, and my boys just eat them like snacks. So really beautiful berries to grow. I do hope you'll try them. Let me know what you think of them if you have them growing.